All righty, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaches Union. Alex, how are you doing today?
Chris, I'm great. Dude, apparently people have been more people than I thought comment on my fan. Like, I don't give a shit that this thing's spinning in the background. If it makes you dizzy, I'm sorry. But like I'm hot. I'm gonna have my fan on.
I
Like
didn't know there
I
was a
didn't think, yeah, I didn't even think people would notice, but a few people are noticing and like I don't know what to tell you guys.
we ain't got guys, we ain't got studio money.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like sorry, sponsor us and like put us in a studio. I would love to get out of my office.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to donate, we can drop our cash apps below and we will invest into a studio. Until then, we're running low budget.
Yeah. How's your week, man?
It's good. Still can't hear out of my ear, so that's super chill. Haven't gotten fat yet, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Really been in. Do what?
tried to influence you to get fat. You wouldn't fall for it.
You literally told me I can't get above 230.
I thought we said 240. Did we say 230?
230 was the conversation.
Was it really? Oh, that's aggressive. Um, I think two,
Yeah.
yeah, I think like 235 is okay. Uh,
Thank God, dude. Because I was like, what? I'm like, I'm 4 pounds away for the whole year. What am I gonna do?
yeah, yeah, I think 235 is okay because that's 17 pounds. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who we are re-strategizing my upcoming season, and one thing we agreed upon is Chris got a little too thick in the off season. So we're trying to
Yeah.
alleviate that this time around because making weight was a bitch.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, dude, we were moving, like, rate of loss was great. Like, we were moving. But then it was like you get done and like you realize you fired all the cannons and all the big bombs and like you're running out of ammo, but like you still have a little bit more like enemies to shoot down, and it's like, well, I'm running out of ammo. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna not go that high this time. But part of that was me learning too. Like I just assumed like we got to get bigger. Let's get bigger, right? But yeah, there's always something you can learn as a coach and as an athlete, and yeah. So now, yes, Chris is dieting year round, like
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah. I don't regret it though. Like I need to put on that much tissue, and I needed that long of an improvement season, which will actually that's one of our questions today. But um, I think ultimately that allowed me to put on enough tissue to kind of move up the rankings. But now it's just a matter of refinement. You know,
Yeah,
having a weight cap super sucks is what we've learned, and it's cool that I'm struggling to make weight, but I don't want to struggle to make weight more than I need to. Um, so
yeah.
235.
People will hear this and like Chris needs to go open. Like it, I would kill him. I would kill him getting him to open. Like
Yeah.
because again, like your timeline and how long you've been doing this, the amount of ammo you've used, we'll use that same analogy. Like we've used a lot of ammunition to get you here. And so it's
Mhm.
to have to double that, like you would die. You would die.
Yeah. Yeah. My frame, because we were having that, I was having that conversation with one of my buddies last night at the gym about going into open. And the reality of the matter is, I would need to be, we were what, like 223 on stage at Greater Valley. I would need to be 260 on stage and open to start being competitive with my frame,
Yeah.
which means I'd have to be 290 in the off season. And I just don't think my body could sustain that.
Yeah, it's hard to get you to 250,
Yeah.
like for real. Where like you look at a Neely or a Colvin, it's easy to get like they can gain weight. I can make them gain 5 pounds this week. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's a little different. But anyway, beside the point. Love you, Chris.
Thanks, buddy. I'll take 235. I feel better now. Um, First question I was actually kind of talking about ammo, right? In the sense of discussing, we obviously, one thing that we have to look at when we work with our clientele is working with natural and enhanced athletes, or those wanting to kind of figure out where they lie in that, is the conversation of, is it worth it, as far as the risk in your competition years, the lifespan you want to have within the sport, but then also the lifespan you want to have in life. What are your thoughts when you presented that question?
Yeah. So it was a client had asked me, like he was in his late 30s, never taken anything before. He's competed once naturally already, and was just like, like just was kind of weighing out his, and I've had multiple clients, asking this here recently. I've had a couple, like, just kind of gauging if it's worth it. So I'll use the two conversations that come to mind. One's a guy, one's a girl. Um, you know, the guy being, late 30s, the girl being late 20s. It's a little different conversation, but not really. So, the talk with the guy was like, okay, well, what are you looking to get out of this? Because it's like the days of going to the Olympia are past us. Let's just be honest. Like, but however, the days of, you know, maybe a Masters Pro card one day, it's not out of the question at all. So like, but at the same time, is that worth it to you? Like,
Mhm.
like, and so that's where it comes down to, what do you want to do? Well, okay, do you want a career in bodybuilding? Because like that's not going to come from being a pro. Like it's just not anymore. So if you're looking for a financial benefit, like as oh that's worth it, that's not coming.
Mhm.
So I would say there's more natural people in this space, whether it be coaches or like, well, let's not say natural, but less enhanced people being coaches in the supplement space or, the promoter world, making a lot more money than the actual pros. So
Mhm.
that was kind of my point was like, hey, you know, if you love this industry, there's plenty of avenues to go about it. You can be a personal trainer, you can work at a nutrition store, you can own a nutrition store, you can sponsor shows, you can work for shows, be an expediter, learn to judge. Like there's a lot you can do within the industry that outside of like, oh, I have to compete.
Mhm.
Um, and then with the female, the talk with her was like, you because she's gone back and forth, like, do I want to be natural, do I want to be not? And I was like, well, what if you want to be a pro, like, what are you trying to prove? Like, if you're
Mhm.
trying to prove that you can do it, like, I want to max out my natural ability as much as I can, that's great. But we're running out of time on the back end just to get on gear in 2 years. See what I'm saying? So like if it's like a moral like high ground you're wanting to stand on, that's great. But like if the goal is to turn pro and eventually I'm going to take the gear once I need it, well, you kind of need it now.
Mhm.
And it's not on me to, but at the end of the day though, like I came to myself and was asking, was like, I can't tell you that it's going to be worth it. Like
Yeah.
I ran the shit out of gear and food and supplements and training, and I was nowhere near being a pro. But will I tell you it's worth it? Hell yeah. Like
Mhm.
my life now in the gym training, there's not a thing I would do. Yeah, I have a heart condition, have be on, certain medications the rest of my life. Is it worth it? Hell yeah. But that's me. I'm that guy. I don't plan to be 90 years old when I die. Like,
Yeah.
like I've accepted that along the way. Where someone else may like that may be off the table for them. So while it's for us to give them, I think it was beneficial for me to tell them like, hey, yeah, you're probably not going to the Olympia. If that's your like peak of worth it, it's not worth it. But if you want to look better, feel better, fuck better, all that, like it might be worth it. I don't know.
Mhm. No, I agree, man. I think it's where because it's like we have to draw a fine line, right? In the sense of I'd say do as I say, not as I do, especially for you and I as athletes, because I don't care what I have to do at this point. Like I don't give many shits when it comes to my like short-term health if it allows me to achieve what I've set out to do. I'm not going to advocate for any of my athletes to have that frame of mind that I do, nor am I going to like really enable or condone that. And so it's a hard place to fall in, but it's again, it just goes back to it's matter of expectations and managing them for the client. Where I should call with, I just had a client sign up who has she has tons of potential, right, as a figure competitor, and it's her first season. And I said, okay, so we've got like two forks in the road that we need to talk about, and all it really means is what shows we pick out next season. Do you want to go and have the conversations and start to learn about looking at the enhanced route, or do you want to remain natural? And I was like, there's no right or wrong answer. It's what you want to do. And she said, I want to stay natural this season. I said, great. So now I'm going to look at shows for you. We'll set out a season, we'll set out a timeline, and we'll approach this naturally. And if that changes, you're curious about it. Maybe you open your eyes to it after your first season. You say, hey, I want to see how far I can really go in this. Then we go to the next fork in the road and we have that conversation and move on and move forward. Right. Like inevitably, you're going to face some amount of risk in utilizing it. Women more than men, as we have privileged dudes in this, there's always some risk because when we talk about genetics, oftentimes we look at somebody's structure, their muscle bellies, their ability to retain tissue, but we don't think about their propensities around PEDs. Whether it's you've got the dude who can like look in the direction of an Anavar tablet and put on 20 pounds of muscle. You also have the people who can run 3 grams of gear and nothing happens.
Hmm.
Or from a negative perspective, you have people who can run 3 grams of gear and come out unscathed, or can look at an Anavar tablet and now they're in cirrhosis, right? So it's like the problem with this is it's all reactive based. We can be proactive in the sense of how we choose to design our stacks, what, specific compounds we utilize, and how we go about blood work, how we go about supplementation and whatnot. And that's our job. But we still don't know until we get into it,
Yeah.
right? And that's a conversation I've had to have with a couple of my people where I'm like, hey man, I've got a guy who's wanting to get his master's pro card next year. And I'm like, hey dude, it's liable that your ALT might be 38, and that's okay. If it's 300, then we have a problem. But like there's gonna be some discrepancy where again we're putting something in our body that's going to cause it's like yin and yang, right? There's going to be good and bad that comes with it. It's just we want to try to maximize the good and minimize the bad, but we can't remove that entirely.
Yeah, and that's where like a lot of because like labs are it's a very popular thing to do to get done. It's a smart thing to do and get done. But you have to look at labs as like it's a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
It's not a reflection on, oh my God, my liver's failing or my kidneys are failing or whatever. Like it's just that snapshot in time. I'm not saying don't do anything about it, but it's like a warning. And so like you have to look at if you're gonna put like it's gonna be very hard to run a full-on bodybuilding cycle and remain completely healthy from a number perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you're trying to just beat the numbers like it's a test, you're gonna have that handicap on you in your growth cycle and your prep cycle and whatever, and that's okay. If that is your set like non-negotiable, then by all means, but just know you have put a
Governor.
a governor on what you're willing to do. Just like the same thing with a completely natural athlete. You choosing to compete in an NPC show that's not natural, well, you have put a governor on yourself on like, hey, I'm only allowing these tools in the toolbox for whatever reason. That's your choice, but you have to like accept that going into it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very big on like naturals need to compete in a natural organization against natural people.
Yep.
But then on the other end of that, man, you deal with athletes who are 28 to 35, 40, and they've been in this game for a while, and they're like, man, I don't have much time left. Let's fucking go. And so they're willing to risk a little bit more. And so it's not that we're sitting here, it's not that there's this like cookie cutter introductory baseline cycle, intermediate level cycle, advanced cycle. It's no, what are you willing, where have you been? What have you done? And what are you willing to do to get to where you're going? It's
Yeah.
not my job, Chris's job, Jewett's job, Luke's job to tell you guys what you're willing to risk.
Yeah.
Some people are willing to fucking give a kidney and be on dialysis and like they're willing to do that. It's our job as coaches to like really watch their blood work and recommend, hey, we're getting close to going down those roads. You need to chill out. But at the end of the day, those athletes are going to do what they're going to want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
and it's our job to be like, okay, like, well, look, because just like you'll get those conversations of, hey, yeah, maybe one day if you want to take a 5 milligram Anavar tab, cool. You're gonna have those conversations where you might need to save somebody's life. And
Yeah.
hey, if we keep going down this road, you're going to have issues. like
Hmm.
very much so. And oftentimes they're like, I don't care. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, and then it may get to the point where morally you're just like, I can't coach you anymore. I've never had that happen, but I would imagine there are some like that goes into the what's the question? Like, what blood work marker would you pull someone from a prep?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be your CK levels for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Your creatinine kinase, it's like your tissue wasting uh
Yeah.
level. Like what, like 18, 20,000. Like you
Hmm.
may have slight elevation in a prep, but like if it's like double digit thousands, like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, you gotta come out.
Yeah. Dude, I've told the story episodes ago. I worked with this guy, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and did the consult, whatever. We started talking, and he started asking me questions about gear, but like in the vernacular of experience. And so I stopped and I was like, "Have you taken stuff before?" And he's like, "No, like I am right now." And I was like, "Well, I can't tell." Like he was 5'7", a buck 80, probably 20% body fat, right? No muscle mass. And I was like, "All right, man, well, I'm going to need you to send me over your lab work, your diet, your training, current protocol." And it was first exposure. It was a 6 month protocol. It was like 2.2 to 2.8 grams weekly. And every time he would run into a side effect, he would pull a drug and put in a new drug. But it was like only just renal toxicity. It was EQ, it was DECA, it was D-ball, then it was anadrol, then it was NPP, then it was DHB. And it was just like, it was absurd. And his diet was like hamburger helper and margarine and bullshit. And his workouts were all like 3 sets of 10. And his blood work was, to this day, the worst blood work I have ever assessed in my entire life. So put him on TRT, clean him out, helped him like pulled off like 40 pounds of shit, whatever. Got another round of labs done. Things were looking in the right direction. They still weren't where I wanted them to be. And he told me, he's like, "Okay, well, can I start a cycle back up?" And I was like, "No, there's no reason to, right?" And he goes, "Well, I need to win shows." I was like, "Why do you need to win shows?" "Well, I need to win shows to grow my coaching business." So again, going back to is like the financial gain of it. And I was like, "Well, buddy, I've won two overalls at this point. It's done nothing for my coaching career. Um, so it's not how it's going to work." He also didn't have the genetic means to win shows, truthfully. And he worked a cushy 6-figure job at like 25 years old. I was like, "Dude, like just work out and fucking make your money, whatever." And so, anyways, fast forward, it got to a point where I told him, I was like, "You need to go see your GP, get a full physical." He ended up having to see a cardiologist because he had tachycardia. He had a polyp on his liver and he had renal scarring. And he gave me all that information. I was like, "Hey, and if good faith, I can't let you take anything
Yeah.
at that point." And he ended up quitting. And I was like, "So be it. Like, I can't help you." Right. That was where I was like, I'm drawing the line, because at that point I was contacting my attorney to have him draft up a new liability waiver specifically for this guy. Cause I was like, he's going to drop dead at 25 years old.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, so I didn't have a case nearly that bad, but like I coach a kid, he's a younger kid, but he's good. But like we were having that same thing. Like it was just like the gear I had him on, it just wasn't like he just wasn't responding like that crazy. And we both like had a phone call. Like we finally had a phone call. I was like, hey man, like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I thought you'd be responding a little better. He thought he'd be responding better. So I just broke it down. I said, hey, look, man, like, okay, we can laugh and be like, hey, like, okay, well, clearly you're not a hyper responder, which we did. We laughed. But then I was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna have to take you to that next level. And like, I just, are you good with it? He's like, yeah, like, let's do it. I was like, okay, like, just so you know, like, we had this conversation. We're getting into like advanced dosages of drugs because where you want to go and where we're at right now, we have to do something different.
Mhm.
Um, at the same time, I'm also the same coach. I just sent a guy to get an EKG done, like because I didn't like a report of like he was sick and had some inflammation in his pericardium. And I was like, well, before we do anything, we're going and getting this looked at. So like, while I am willing to like run it with you, at the same time, I'm also gonna be the first one to tell you, hey, we realistically don't have it. We realistically need to get our health checked. We need to do this. We need to do this. And I wish. I wish we could like give people the answer that yes, it's going to be worth it in the end. But honestly, we can't. Like, I take a fourth of what I used to take, honestly, these days. I look better, I feel better, I train better, I'm just as strong. Like, I wish I would have known that a while back. But regardless, like what I was able to do is the experience on that road to where I am now. I wouldn't change that. You know,
Mm-mm.
if it takes 10 years off my life, so be it. But like, I'm happy where I'm at now. And if you would have asked me that 3 years ago, I'm at the cardiologist thing, getting hooked up to the thing, and like I'm still broke. I have 12 clients. Like, probably wouldn't have been, I think it was like 5 years ago, but still, like, I probably would have told you it's not worth it then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just have to like kind of play with it. But, and then on the health marker thing, like you said, the CK level, there's new PubMed studies now that like everyone's like an athlete's baseline CK level could be higher than the rate of like what standard CK level should be. So like it's what I watched it with two athletes earlier this year. Like one's really heavily muscled, and I was like, man, like I don't think it's like true rhabdo because you're staying in this elevated 1500, 2000 range, but like everything else is checking out. There's no edema. There's no like I don't have to prove myself. I know what I'm talking about. He's fine, but it's just this one marker and so it's like maybe that is his baseline. I just never looked at it till we were having problems, and that's when it was like really elevated.
Hmm.
So, but like that again, it just goes into lab work where it's like it may say urgent or it may say elevated, but a lot of times you can figure out what is like really giving us that reflection.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like you'll have someone send you their labs and like maybe ALT, AST are elevated or something, the CK, and then you'll ask like, well, did you take 3 days off of training? Like I asked you to. Like, well, no, I worked out last night. It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, that's going to skew it, right? There's so much more that goes into it. And I think that's where it takes. Again, we're having to look at like the not just the broad strokes when we're looking at blood work, right? Because it's all like a to me it's like a puzzle of like what factor can contribute to the next. And so there's certain cases where it's like it's to be expected. Some things are going to be elevated within reason, but it's relative to the individual, right? Whereas like if you have someone who isn't heavily muscle, they've taken 3 days off of training, they're not running a protocol, and their liver enzymes are through the roof. Okay, now there's a legitimate concern because there's no base contributing factor that makes that make sense that we are aware of. So
Yeah.
then we got to figure it out. But that's where it's hard because it's like we want to be. And I love how much more like data oriented and health focused the sport has become over the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years. But there is this like level of fear mongering that's occurring within this that I do think is like cases of it just being taken out of context.
Yeah. Yeah, and that goes into like we have a question. This makes me think of InBodies. Like we have a question on InBodies. Like those are also snapshots in time. And so like, but they're very easily skewed. So what it is, it's an electrical current that like goes through your body and it like does something with your measures the water and hydration. But it's not complicated, but it is in me saying it because I don't look at it. Um, but it's not accurate. It's not a bod pod. It's not a DEXA scan.
Mhm.
It's not the real deal. So like, and you can skew it very easily. Go chug chug 2 liters of water, then go do it. And then, come back fasted the next day, do it again, go train, do it again. Like you're going to get a different reflection each time. And so that's why I don't trust those things. Like it can be skewed by so many different variations. But then too, also like you'll notice they're very popular at nutrition stores, at gyms to get you in with a trainer because they're going to put that in front of your face as like, look at this. Nothing good is free. Like try to go get a DEXA scan or yeah, try to go get a DEXA scan done and like see, you have to go to a university. Like it's not
Yeah,
free, you know.
yeah,
You can't even like open the door to get to it. But
yeah.
that's the real deal. The reason we don't ask for that stuff as coaches is because they're so easily skewed. It's like, I don't like, I don't care. I'm not asking for it. If I thought it was necessary, I would ask for it as a coach.
Yeah, if I thought it was necessary, I'd spend 15 grand and I'd have one. And I would just have you come do it. So what it's doing is it's obviously weighing you while you're on there, and then it sends electrical current, and it's trying to guesstimate your the cell volume of your muscles, right? And so there's a lot of contributing factors within that, glycogen and water being the two biggest ones. And then it's taking an equation and guesstimating what remainder is fat and subcutaneous water and so on and so forth. And so I did this with one of my clients, Drew. I helped him lose 175 pounds in 13 months. And he was very adamant about going once a month to get it done. And I was like, all right, man, that's cool. Like, it's great to have that. I explained it to him. I was like, you basically have to make sure that the 48 hours leading up to when you get that done is like within a glass chamber of identical every single time, or it's going to be skewed. And so he goes one time, he sends it to me, and he's like, hey, man, it says I've lost 6 pounds of muscle and I've gained 4 pounds of fat. And I was like, well, that's impossible because, again, you're getting stronger in the gym. You're not gaining body fat as we've lost 170 pounds at this point. And so I started explaining it to him. I said, what I want you to do is go take your free meal tonight, go get a steak and potato, get a good night's sleep, go back first thing in the morning and do it again. And he goes back and he's like, dude, it said I put all that muscle back on and I lost that fat. I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's just a fucking guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like how fast the electrical current can run through your body, and then it's like I said, it's complicated, but it's not. But it's like it's very inaccurate. And
Yeah.
that's again, that's why we don't ask for it. Like, if I'm going to go out of my way to have you track your blood pressure and blood sugar, like, because I feel like those are important, don't you think I would like, oh shit, you have access to an InBody scan? Could you go get it done once a month for me? Like, don't you think I'd be a little more excited?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, right? But it's not like it's, I don't like it. Obviously, I'll have clients send me their InBody scans and their progression, and like, yes, over time it should trend downward, but like, I don't really try to bring much excitement to them over it because I don't want them relying on that, just like I don't want them relying on the scale.
Yeah.
Again, if I was very particular on it, I would meet up with you once a month. I would do the millimeter pinching of your skin folds, and that's how I
Mhm.
would check your body fat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's like, again, we're here for, like, when you get on stage, you don't get to hold up your in body scan. They don't give a shit. It's what
Yeah.
we're all here to look good. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I think I get asked that a lot. And I've worked at supplement stores that have had it. And the owner at the one I was at in Knoxville, that was literally the sales pitch.
Mhm.
It was like,
Yeah.
get them on there. And then you want to try to sell them X, Y, and Z stack. And
Yeah. And how often do you think they've like recalibrated this? Like, have they done what they're supposed to do with it? Have they kept the maintenance up on it? Like, yeah,
no.
it's just very, I don't buy it.
Alex, what's your favorite white girl song?
Dude, I have a lot.
Okay.
What kind of mood are we in? Are we in a good mood?
Yeah, we're in a good mood.
We're partying. Um, so in Vegas, When You're Gone came on, by Kelly Clarkson. Well,
Mhm.
no, I'm getting it wrong. Hang on. I'm thinking of Avril Lavigne, When You're Gone. That one's a banger for when I'm sad. Um, Hang on, let me pull it up. It was this like EDM version. Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson.
Mm,
That one,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
one's good. Yeah, because like the DJ, yeah, it was cool. Um, and then Unwritten is a good one.
Okay.
Um, oh, and then there's one more. There's another sad one. Hang on. What's the one? It's like uh it's like I hope there's sparks flying by the end of the night, and like, and then I hope she cheats like you did on me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
bro, that song. I'll sing it to the top of my ears. What's the fucking name of it?
We'll go key the car
Um,
to that song for sure.
Hang on, I gotta pull this up. Thank y'all for listening. Um, because yeah, that song goes hard. Uh, I Hope by Gabby Barrett. Yep, yep, banger. What are yours, dude?
Um, ooh, because my thing is, like, I was thinking about like bad bitch songs. That's "Needed Me" by Rihanna. That's like my
Mm,
bad bitch song.
yeah.
Like I'm feeling myself if I'm listening to that. Ooh, I gotta go through Spotify and see what I can find.
Yeah, so like during peak weeks and stuff, it's like, like I'll have my headphones plugged in. Usually it's Rihanna. Like
Yeah.
I have a whole Rihanna playlist that'll
Hmm.
because you need something upbeat. Like it doesn't need to be too serious, but like you need to be feeling yourself.
Yeah. Ooh, Could Have Been by Her. I think it's probably one that I would put up there.
Ooh,
Um, I'm trying to think because my playlist for show days when I'm coaching is always like Kodak Black and Big X the Plug.
yeah,
Because again, dude, if I put on like problems, if I put on Eminem, I'm gonna start fighting people in the crowd. You know what I mean? That's like a little too much.
yeah.
It'll be a step down where I'm still feeling good about myself, but not to the point where I want to inflict violence on others.
Yeah. It's a different mood. Like it's not a training mood. It's like, see, I listen to a lot of Future and a lot of Lil Baby. It's a lot,
Hmm.
it's like swag, like confidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, white girl song, especially like I don't party much. I really don't. Like maybe once a year max. But like Party in the USA comes on, you're a
Brother,
little
I'm kicking a door down.
you're tweaking on something. It's not it sets the vibe for sure.
Yeah, I'm throwing a chair for sure. Um, Dude, I haven't been out since we went out last year. That was hellacious.
Yeah, yeah. And even in Vegas, like it was a very chill night. I was up at 6 a.m. the next day for a flight. So, um, yeah, good times.
Let's see what we got. What is your greatest advantage as a coach?
Me,
Yeah, yeah. Just
literally, right
the,
here.
the
No,
embodiment I am.
yeah. Hmm. Greatest event as a coach, like week to week coaching, or like show day coaching.
Let's do both.
I would say week to week, it's my level of like attentiveness and how I speak.
Mm,
I think it's a very um I don't know. I feel like my athletes should tell me, but I feel like I make them feel like they're my only client. I feel
yeah.
like my attentiveness to that, and then the confidence I have in myself throughout,
Mhm,
like in a prep setting. Um, but I think like show days and stuff, man, like, and we've talked about this before. Like, I don't think that. I think that the coach, like the athlete should feel like you're their secret weapon.
mhm,
Like you all, like, man, I'm gonna make a post about this one day, but like the difference between me and other coaches is like I walk into a show and my athletes get confident and your athletes get fucking nervous.
mhm,
That's the difference. Like
yeah,
that's the difference. It's not like yeah, like we can know all the same stuff. We can do all the same. We could literally do peak weeks exactly the same on the same two athletes. But the difference is when I walk into a show, like I bring something with me that my athlete not only gets excited and confident, but everyone else's athletes get a little fucking nervous. And
mhm,
I can't tell you how I got it. It's just like year after doing it. But I think that's my greatest advantage because I see it. I see my athletes truly feel like I'm their secret weapon. And I
mhm,
see other people genuinely get nervous because I'm there. There's people asking if I've got people in shows. There's people asking me, "Hey, you got anyone in the show? You got anyone in this show?" There's people calling our chairman to try to block my athletes from going to shows because
mhm,
they can't handle any of the smoke. So,
mhm.
yeah, like I think that's my secret weapon
Yeah,
in my biggest advantage.
yeah. I like that. I agree with it, man. Um, I think mine, like, and I can't believe it's so like uncommon in this day and age. I just give a shit, dude. I just care so fucking much about this and all my people, like through and through. And I'd say it's like week to week is just how much I try to pour into everybody and try to be present for everybody. no matter the hour of the day, right? And that's something that I am, within reason trying to work on, having some work-life balance. But it's like I can't not. I get a message and it's like I got to be there, right? It's like the clock's ticking. I'm not the person who's waiting until tomorrow to get to you. I don't care what the question is. It's like I'm there in that moment, because much like you've said, like I want every athlete to feel like I am the only person that they work with,
Yeah.
right? It's just me and this together. And it's always we. Whenever I have these conversations with my athletes, it's we're doing this. This is what we're doing, because it's as much my journey as it is theirs. Um, I'd say show weekends. I think one thing, and it was a really cool compliment that I got from one of my athletes' parents, was like, she told me, she's like, you have a really calming presence when you're here.
Yeah.
Like you're calm, and even if internally it's a combustion occurring, it's a fucking dumpster fire. It's like that's something that like I've always tried to make sure of, is that like if I'm there, nobody needs to stress. Like
Mhm.
we're good throughout the whole thing. Like we're good, we got it, And I think that would probably be my biggest advantage as a coach.
Yeah, you do. You have this very like just stoic presence, right? Like it's just very like you're just chill. It's just good vibes. Like you're not, and I think like that's why we do well together at shows. That's why like we function well as a team, um,
Mhm.
because I feel like if we were to both come in like really like alpha, like let's go, I feel like it's too much. But like we balance each other out very, very well. And I think it makes it when we are at shows together, our presence is even more of like a presence that like people like pay attention to. Is like, oh shit, like it's different. Like we're the same, but we're different. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the advantage, is us together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause yeah, man, it's I don't know. The way things are right now, man, like I feel like Conor McGregor on his rise up, and like I just don't need to, have Khabib somewhere down the road waiting on me. So until then, I'm just enjoying the ride before I go crazy on a yacht somewhere.
That's the outro for sure. Let's see what we got. Ooh, not every athlete needs to be a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Dude,
because you can follow a plan does not mean that you know how to provide a plan.
yeah, man, and like we talked a good bit on like becoming coaches last week, and I feel like so if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that podcast. But I deal with like because and I tell this to because dude, we coach a lot of people. We coach a lot of people who they're probably like one of the it people in their gym. And so it's like they're gonna get questions, hey, what should I do for this? Like I don't think it's wrong to help somebody lose weight. I don't think it's wrong to help somebody with a workout plan or like, hey, eat healthier or this is what I ate, like you can even literally verbatim. Like I've had husbands follow my client, like their wife who's a client of mine's diet, it's like similar food options and lost weight. Like
Mhm.
they don't pay me, but like they followed it pretty closely. And like there's nothing wrong with that. But the the thing about that is like if you're an athlete who wants to genuinely coach, you have to take responsibility for their health. And
Mhm.
that's like it because I've asked clients, I'm like, hey, like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting someone to lose weight or to help them build muscle. Like, enough for sure. But are you willing to like look over their blood work? Are you willing to like, how do you adjust their food once they hit a wall? How do you do this? How do you rest them? How do you like, are you willing to take on that pressure and that responsibility that comes with coaching? Most of the time they're not. They're just looking for the extra 200, $300, which again, it's not bad, but you need to like lay that standard for the, hey, look, I just know what I know. You're welcome to purchase this one-time diet plan, or I'll help you. You can be my workout partner. But like just let the people know that you're going to work with, like you're only going to give them so much.
Yeah. I think too, like what I see commonly as an issue within this is somebody has like a successful show prep or whatever, and then they go, "Hey, I'm accepting clients now," right? And you don't know even how to like onboard somebody correctly. You don't even know what questions you're supposed to be asking to get the information you need. But then also it becomes this case, I see it all the time, where like they'll look at their plan and just go, well, this worked for me, so it should work for you. And then they hand it to them and it doesn't work, and they go, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's because they're not looking at the individual. They've only seen their journey through their lens that's been provided by the coach they're with, and assume that if it worked for them, that it should work for all. And that's where we start running into issues where now it's like, okay, well, it's not a one size fits all,
Yeah.
right? And you can only learn that through experience.
And that's where, because dude, there's a lot of my diet plans, a lot of my training plans that are influenced by what my coach had me do, that are influenced by what Luke and John had me do. So it's okay to have influence. It's okay to like, dude, if you wanted to genuinely, like, if I wanted to give you my exact diet as like your baseline because you had no foundation, while that is cookie cutter, that's not the end of the world because I know I would be making adjustments along the way to it, and eventually we would have two completely different plans.
Yeah.
But so like, yeah, I like cream. I eat chicken and rice and cream of rice and bananas and pineapple. There's a reason I pick those foods first because it's what I like to eat. It's what digests well. And like, I'm used to seeing it. And then I'll ask, hey, do you like pineapple? Okay, cool. We're going to add pineapple. Like, and okay, pineapple gives them acid reflux. Can't use that. All right, let's put kiwi in. Like, it's very, some people can view it as like, oh my gosh, it's cookie cutter. Like there's only so many bodybuilding foods you can eat, right?
Hmm.
Like, so that being said, it's okay to take what you learn from your coach, but on the back end, you have to know what you're doing, or else you're just copying, pasting what your coach did. And that's the difference. That's the difference in like, because the problem is like they'll get results for the first couple weeks because like they're eating better, they're eating cleaner, your diet's really clean. So now theirs is, they're training harder, their efforts up. But then you're going to hit that wall and then you don't know what to do because that's what your coach was there for. And then
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh, and then you start like, okay, well, he refed me, so I got to refeed him. And then, or they put this drug in, so I got to put this drug in. And the fucked up thing is a lot of that's gonna work. And so like that's where people start thinking they're good at coaching. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, they have 12, 15, 20 clients, but it's all just the same copy and paste regurgitated shit. They don't know how to take someone with like, an eating disorder or, food allergies or health issues like Hashimoto's or lupus or something like they don't know what to do because deep down, they don't know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
just know this is what I did, this is what my coach did, this is what we're gonna do. And it's like, yeah, it'll work for some people, but you'll find out very fast who it won't work for, and then you're gonna look stupid.
Yeah. It's like a game of, it's like we're playing a constant evolvement of chess, but then you only know you move one piece and you go, well, that should work, right? And it's like, no, dude, like we're just getting fucking started.
Yeah.
It's like as you get into this, like there's more specificity, there's more precision required. And if you don't, the other thing is too, because I've seen it before, is like also if you are someone who is a genetically gifted athlete and you get a client who isn't genetically gifted, and I've seen it before. I won't speak on the person who it was, but they're like, why the fuck aren't you seeing progress? And it's like, well, dude, you're God's gift to this earth with genetics. Not everybody falls in that. So it's like there's also a lack of empathy that I think comes from it. Because I'm like, you don't understand that the reality of what's occurring right now.
Yeah.
And you also don't know how to get them there other than through impatience. And it's like, well, people are going to progress at different rates. As much as I want to see everybody progress as quickly as they can, that's not how this works. So if you're leaning on this whole I'm a great athlete, you almost like I find that the best coaches tend to be the people like you and I who like started with like jack fuck all of a physique and built it into what it is because we had to learn.
Yeah, I think that and it's very common the best athletes aren't the best coaches, the best coaches aren't the best athletes. Like
Hmm.
there's a reason, like those who can do, those who can't teach, right? Like it's very common. Um, I think the benefit we're in now is like we all kind of know it's a running joke when like a first timer like does a show and then starts like taking on clients. So they already like, excommunicate themselves right off the bat because they do
Hmm.
a show and then they're like, oh, now accepting clients. Like, we all saw we've seen that, we've laughed at that, we don't trust that. It's like the same the five spots available thing. It just doesn't if you get someone from it, it's the low hanging fruit and
Mhm.
they're not going to last anyways. So,
And again, the 1,000 foot overview of it is you hired somebody to tell you what to do to get you on stage. You nodded your head and you did it, and that's great. That's wonderful. That's what we want, right? And then in return, you go, "Hey, I listened to this guy, so now you should come listen to me."
mhm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. If anything, it's like go to the coach that
Yeah.
got them there, not you didn't get yourself there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any sense. It's a paradox.
Yeah, and dude, I'll be the first. A lot of times, I'll credits like my cream of rice and chicken and banana meal. I tell people, I'm like, yeah, like I got that from Matt Jansen and Dallas McCarver. Like
Hmm.
that's, I saw them ate it. I tried it. It tasted good. We did it. Same thing. Like there's a different, like drug compounds or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I realized I could do this because so and so said I could. I tried it. It worked. Like whatever. Um, Galanga sent me who's that the Joe Palessi guy? The
Hmm.
guy who just competed and got second in Texas. He
Hmm.
sent a thing talking about who's doing potato chips backstage for the prejudging a night show. And Andrew sent that to me and was like, "That's what you do." And I was like, "Yeah, I got that from my coach." And I did it
Hmm.
on myself and it worked. And he was like, "Oh yeah, he got it from Justin Compton." There's a there's a connection from Justin Compton to my coach at some point, like if you were to go down the tree, the family tree, right? And
Hmm.
so again, is that copy and paste? No. Like, but I used it on myself. I liked it. I understood the rationale behind it. It worked. Other people use it. It works. It's like, okay, like it's sometimes just a thing. Same thing with Rice Krispie treats. I wasn't the first to use Rice Krispie treats, but
Hmm.
someone had to tell me to try it. And, I used it. So there's little bits and pieces you're going to pick up along the way that you can use, but just don't think you can take what we do or like sign up with us to work with us just to gather all our intel. You're going to be pretty surprised how like, oh, this plan's like not that different than what I already know. Like more than likely, like I've seen I've had clients leave big name coaches, like Boss of Outlaw big name coaches, and I look at the plans. I'm like, that's it. Like
Hmm.
that's it. That's the magic. Like so the magic's not in the plan or what they do day to day. The magic is whatever he sees in his head and when he's making those right calls. Because yeah, if you were to tell me that's the magical blueprint, I know just as much, if not more. But that's not really it. So you can't just take our plans and like sell them off to people because there's so much more to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen one of my buddies was coached by Pete Tor, and then he was coached by Jansen. And with Jansen, everybody gets the same training plan:
Mhm.
top set, back off set, 8, 12, 12, 15 intensifier, usually rest pause. And you run that until the wheels fall off. No changes, no alterations in prep, no alterations in off season, just one plan. It's a
Yeah.
Word document, right? It's like that, again, to your point, it's like that's not, if that's all it was, we would just be programming and we would just be selling a plan and see you later and we'd be the richest people alive. It's everything that goes into legitimately coaching that makes it coaching,
Yeah.
not just programming. Because again, we can go on fucking chat GPT. We can go on bodybuilding.com. I think a lot of people don't realize this. You can go on bodybuilding.com and find a workout right now.
Yeah.
And it'll probably work for a while, but it's knowing it's knowing the cognizance or the having the ability to observe and go, okay, this isn't working. What makes more sense to put there? What question I need to ask to get the answer to know what to do, right? That's where this becomes coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Difference in training nutrition styles of off season. I'm assuming like this says off season versus lifestyle. I'm assuming it means more of like show prep versus or just competitors versus lifestyle.
Yeah. It's like training and nutrition.
Yeah,
You want to start? You want me to start?
I can go for it. I think when we look at this, we just have to look at it from the sake of precision. And when I say this too, it's not a free for all for any of my lifestyle people out there to fuck off. But lifestyle is usually held to a slightly different standard as far as, especially from a nutritional perspective. There's less rigidity to the plan. There's a little bit more flexibility provided up front and throughout the process. And there's room for some user error. Whereas for a competitor, especially in show prep, there's far more rigidity, there's far more precision, and there's no room for error. That's all it is. We go from 80-20 to now 100%. That's really the biggest difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that with training in a sense of like off season to prep or like lifestyle to whatever, lifestyle, I'm more okay with doing 3 or 4 sessions a week. Like I'm trying to fit training and nutrition into your lifestyle, not like making it a priority. Like, yes, it's a priority, but like I'm not gonna throw caution to the wind and say you have to get these sessions in. I don't care what it costs. If you're a competitor and you're adherent, like I'm expecting 100% adherence, I'm less lenient on things. I don't want to say I'm not so nice about it, but I'm not so understanding. If you're a competitor and you want to be treated like a competitor, you want to compete. Well, I'm not understanding why you don't follow your diet plan 100%, why you miss training sessions, why you miss cardio sessions, why you don't go to bed on time. I go down a list of like why I don't understand why you don't do this. But if you're a lifestyle person and it's like, hey, my kids had this week and I have this week, it's not that you can't have those weeks as a competitor, but as a competitor, you have to get to a level where you overcome those things and you do it anyway. Because
Mm-hmm.
like if you can't do it in an off-season setting, well, how are we going to do it in a pre-contest setting when you're tired and when you're hungry and when you really don't feel good to do it? So that's my biggest flex of athletes who go from off-season to pre-contest or go from lifestyle to off-season to pre-contest is they're so accustomed to the day-to-day routine and execution of the plan that by the time I take them from, okay, maybe I one day want to compete to we're 20 weeks out to we're full on prep, they always get towards the end of prep like, oh, this isn't that bad. And I'm like, yeah, because you've been doing the execution part for months and years sometimes. So you're not going from, oh, well, I train 3 days a week, I have wine 4 times a week, and I have dessert whenever I want, I have four cheat meals. You're going from, okay, I have one free meal a week, I maybe have a drink one night a week, I'll relax on birthdays and holidays. Other than that, I'm locked the fuck in to okay, now I'm still locked the fuck in. I pull my cheat meals out and I'm a little calorie restricted. It's not that big of a culture shock. And
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. And that's why I'm so hard on athletes in an off-season setting who want to go to stage because it's like we don't even talk about stage if we can't even fucking execute in the off season. It's like what
Which is fucking easy.
yeah, like oh, like we're because so many people will say, I just need something to motivate me to do it. And I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. But you're not going to be motivated 5 weeks out on 2 rice cakes and 90 minutes of cardio.
Fuck no.
So like we got to get this. I have to get you in that mode of like it's just what you do. It's not it's emotionless. You go to the
Yeah.
gym without emotion. You go to do cardio without emotion. You cook your food. It's not a big fucking deal. But if I can't get you there and then I throw it on to you, hey, we're 14 weeks out. It's like, oh, okay, now let me get amped up. We're done. We're so
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. We already failed. We
Yeah.
already failed because you have to look at it like, to your point, dude, you can't, when you are in show prep, you can't give a shit about anything. It does not matter at that point. You
Yeah.
can't go in and be like, well, I left the gym early because I couldn't get a pump or I was having a bad workout. It's like you got to make something happen.
Yeah.
That is the mantra of prep is you have to make something happen every fucking day. And you can't resort to emotions in those moments. Well, I got in a fight with my partner, so I got a burger. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Like we can't miss. There's no opportunity for missing. And I work with a lot of people. I work with a lot of first time competitors in that space of, hey, we're going from lifestyle to off season to show prep, and it needs to be a smooth transition. But to the point, we don't graduate from one. We don't get to go to the next until we graduated from the first,
Yeah.
right? Like if we're not 90, 100% adherence as a lifestyle. And again, I've got people who are lifestyle, which like I wish they wanted to compete, where they don't miss, where they run circles around some people that are on my roster who compete.
You're like,
Where
are
I'm like,
you sure? Like you wanna maybe do this? Like, no, I'm good.
you know, but come on, it'd be so fun, right? So I've
Yeah.
got people like that who just want to lose 20 pounds and they treat it like they're prepping for the Olympia because you are allowed to have that mindset and you should choose to have that mindset. And once we graduate from that, we go in the off season. And again, dude, if you can't follow an off season diet when you've got a plethora of food and food variety and life is chill and pumps are great and training is awesome, don't do a show
Yeah.
because
Dude,
it
I
sucks.
could tell you guys right now what I'm gonna eat on Wednesday, December 17th for meal two.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you exactly what I'm gonna eat. Like,
Yep.
so it's like if you can't be like that, and honestly, man, that's what drives me to still do things the way I do things, to still train, to still eat, to still diet, because I'm doing it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna do it even after I'm done coaching. But like, I don't know how any I'm stuck this way. And a big
Yeah.
part of me, I'm sure a lot of people wish I wasn't this way, but like you need to be like me. And so
Yep.
it's not right for me to tell you to be locked in and do this because like I'm not missing. So like why are you not? And I have no aspirations to the stage. None. And I know I probably low-key have an eating disorder, and that's fine. But like it goes back to was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it. But
Mm-hmm.
like you have to and so that I think to summarize the difference of like competitor versus non-competitor is how serious I'm gonna get on to you, like how much I'm gonna try to pull out of you. Or if you're a lifestyle person, like I'm pretty chill. But dude, I told two competitors this week they could skip check-ins because like it was just a bad week. It's off. I'm like, hey, like they don't stress it. So like while I am Nick Saban in a lot of ways of mentality, I'm also like a human being too.
100%.
Like I'm not gonna be mean, but at the same time. I ain't letting you skip check-ins 4 out of the next 9 weeks because that's when we're fighting. Like,
Yeah. That's when
and
we're
I,
having an issue.
oh, trimming the fat. Dude, this goes into we're trimming the fat.
Doing the fat, baby.
Bro, I've kicked off 4 people this week. Monday night, it's 10 p.m. I'm just going through. I don't know what got me on a kick, but I'm just going through who hasn't fucking checked in a while. And I just text Bill and hey, cancel this person, cancel this person, cancel this person. Because it's like you don't deserve my name anywhere near your Instagram bio, anywhere near your mouth coming out of it. If you're not going to multiple times over not check in and
Not tell you.
and for the record, I've not communicated with these people in weeks. So I have had a couple people leave, take time off, whatever. This is not you. The 4 people I'm talking about, they have not reached out to me, talked to me in any facet. That's what's disrespectful. And that's
Yeah.
what gets on my nerves. Because they'll
Mm-hmm.
circle back in a couple weeks and be like, hey, okay, now I'm ready. It's like, nah, dude, like you're wasting my time. 'Cause I have to look back at your side by sides and like we're going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like that being said, if you have life coming up, if you have some things going on, just tell me, like tell your coach, tell us, like, hey man, look, like dude, I called a guy and was like, hey man, like, can I give you like 2 months to just like chill, like just to get some things in order? Like I'm all for that because at the end of the day, I tell people I want to earn my money. Like yes, I would love a free paycheck. I would love X amount of dollars per month for you to never check in. I would love that. It'd be cool. But after a couple weeks, it gets old that I don't get to do my job because I love my job. So that's when I come along and I trim the fat and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like I
Yeah.
don't you don't want me, I don't want you. Go away. Because I don't want you to come back in 2 months and hit up billing with some complaints like, oh, we didn't reach out. Like, no, man, fuck that.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not our job to
Mhm.
do that. And
Yeah.
I have to remind myself that a lot, right? And again, life happens. I tell all of my clients, I'm the last person to fucking judge. I will always be in your corner. I actually had a guy yesterday skipped a couple check-ins. I reached out to him. I said, hey man, check in with me tomorrow. What's up? Oh, dude, like going back to school, car got repossessed, da 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 da. And I said, hey man, like I was like, if you need me to drive you to the gym, I'll come fucking get you if you just talk to me about these things, but
Yeah.
still check in with me.
Yeah.
Like, tough love. I will be there, bro. I will drive you across the town. I do not care because I care about you as a human, but I care about you human as a human. I want you to be successful. So do your fucking job so I can do my fucking job.
Yeah.
Because at the same rate, to your point, people I think sometimes forget I am so proud of the people that I've got, and I want them to be proud of me, to be with me. You are a representation of my work. So if you're not doing your fucking job and you don't look the part and you're going around the gym talking about how great I am, it makes me look bad actually
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're not doing your job. I want
You're,
people to see my athletes, and it's gotten to that point where people will come up to my athletes and go, "You're coached by Chris?"
yeah.
Yep, and that's what we fucking want.
Yeah. That's right where you want to be, dude. Because yeah, there's nothing worse than like it's like you'll get some athletes and you just know before you even open the check-in. You just know. Because then you don't hear from them for 2 or 3 more weeks. And then they come back and it's like it's this long game of like just wasting time. And it's like, man, like I don't know. And like I said, we're at the point I've already got I've already replaced the 4 athletes who I just told to go away. I've already replaced them. It's been 3 days. Like it's not saying that like, oh, everyone's expendable because you're not, but if you're gonna treat me like that and treat me with like very little respect, then yeah, like I'm gonna give you the same love and courtesy and tell you to go away. Because there's plenty of people who oh, I just thought I had a phone call today. That's tomorrow. There's plenty of people who are like waiting to work with me or who are saving up to work with me. There's
Mhm.
plenty of people who like, man, I just can't afford it yet, but I would love to. There's plenty of those people who would die to like be able to just send me a check in. And then it's like, man, you won't even let me do my job. While other people out here would love to be in a position to do that. And that's what
Mhm.
frustrates me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I mean, it's just like a lack of respect for both parties. It's like, dude, have respect yourself in this. Like, this is a journey that you committed to, not only for me, but also for yourself to achieve betterment. And now you're just choosing to be either complacent or you're choosing mediocrity or whatever. But again, it's still at the end of the day, if we're watching college football and the quarterback fumbles and they lose, who still gets blamed? The coach?
Yep. Yep.
It always goes back to us.
Yeah, it's always our fault.
Always, dude. The sky's too blue. Fuck Chris,
Yeah.
right? It's just the reality of the matter. But it's again to the point. It's like I just want. I don't care what your goal. I do care. Let me preface. Whether it's you want to step on a stage, you want to lose weight, you want to do anything it may be. All I want are people who give a fuck. Because then I'll give a fuck. I'll give more of a fuck than you ever will, and we'll get you there. But the second you stop caring, I am no longer going to turn around and grab you by the hand and drag you along with me when there are people who want to walk right beside me.
Yeah. If you go from 100% to 75%, I'm going from 100 to 15. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm not coming back until you come back to give me 100.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, and that's the thing. And like, I know we sound very harsh right now, tough right now, but it's like, everyone on my current roster right now today, Wednesday. Love you guys. Y'all are awesome. But like it's we deal with some people who just genuinely just they don't care. And it's and over time they weed themselves out and that's just it comes in phases. And it's like, man, you'll have a good feeling about someone when they first sign on and then they just slowly drop off. But then sometime on the flip side, man, you have some athletes like they just life just kicks them in the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and that's where it's like, hey, that's okay. We're talking through it. Have we had success in 4 weeks? No, but we're talking through it and I highlight some wins for the week and I'm holding your hand and I'm not fucking letting go until like something positive comes out of it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like so like don't think that we're not there in your corner even through the worst times. We are. But like you have to keep us in the loop. You can't just dip out on us because then it's like, well, what? And then they're like, well, you should have known. It's like, how am I supposed to know?
I don't read minds. If I knew how to read minds, there'd be 2 zeros added to my monthly dues at this point, right? I tell every person, I'd say the same two things on every call I do with a new athlete. You can get away with murder, and I'll help you bury the body as long as you talk to me. And much like a dog, I can't know something's wrong unless you tell me. And then it is my job to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
So that's what I'll take. Like I said, it's trim the fat season. Hopefully it's all done with now. But yeah, I was letting Billing have it the other day. I was like,
Oh,
get
yeah,
the
dude.
out of here.
Yeah, seeing the notifications, then you text me and you're like trimming the fat. And I was like, I see it. I'm
Yeah.
watching it. Come
It's
on,
like
bro.
ding 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 ding. It's like 10 p.m. on a Monday.
Slack was popping off, bro. Um, how often, this is the last question, how often should you compete if the goal is to have a pro level physique?
Hmm. Mm-mm. It's division dependent, but I would say at least every 2 years. It's
Yeah,
like every other year. I think personally, 18 to 24 months between being on stage is ideal. Because if you get in that whole thing of like, oh, well, I'm just waiting to be big enough to be a pro, you haven't perfected what it's like to be a pro, which is the peak. Like contest prep the is 50% of bodybuilding. So like you could be the biggest person in the room or have the biggest glutes or the biggest biceps or whatever, but if you can't like dial it in and you can't like endure a prep, well then like you're not really that good at your sport, even though you're big. You did one part, but you got to do the full picture.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Um, yeah, I'd say I think for me, like taking 18 months off between the last two shows was like the most impactful in improving my physique. I
Yeah.
think that 18-month mark is good. But then again, like we're looking at taking 6 months to refine and then rolling back into it. So that's contextually a little bit different,
Yeah.
given the case. But I would say too, like don't do the bullshit where you're like, especially depending on the judge's feedback. If it's one thing, it's like, hey, we need to come back a little tighter, or we need to come back a little fuller, whatever. But if you have like massive improvements that need to be made to your physique, you're not going to do it in 4 months. You're not going to do it in 6 months. I would say minimum 12, like action. And that's like 12 months after getting through a health phase, after getting back to homeostasis. Then that starts the clock. 12 months, then consider going back. But I would say more time's always going to benefit you within reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Because, like, and that's the difference between, like, where you are right now, where Abby was between her last, run between Pittsburgh and USA's. Like, there's not much more tissue she needed. So, like, the shorter turnaround time's better. It's a little bit better for you. But, like, Austin, like, if we were to bring him back next year, he wouldn't have, like, capped his next, like, round of potential he could jump. So like it's all dependent as well. Candace is another example. Candace one spot away from a card last year in bikini. Okay, well, we're waiting a year to come back. Like that's a good time to get healthy and all that, and we don't need much more tissue growth, right? But like you may have some people who really need to still max out their frame, and it's like, hey, the longer the better. You also have to look at like life. How hard was the prep on them? What do they have coming up in life? Like, do they have a lot going on? They have a lot of outside factors playing against them. So, like, sometimes, like, or hey, I need to go finish school, or I'm getting a promotion, or we're moving. Like, sometimes you have other stuff. So it's like, hey, yeah, 6 more months of an off season added to our original 12 to 18 months. It's not the end of the world. Like, because we're just going to get better. Like, taking longer is not going to make you a worse athlete, especially you'll get those athletes who've done 7, 8 shows. It's like, oh, we need 2 years for sure because we keep
Yeah.
coming back the exact same.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say the only preface to, or the only caveat to that is like, what more time won't make you worse if you take the shit serious.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because if you just get fat, that's not going to help anybody.
Yeah. And that's where like, again, it's division dependent, it's person dependent. But yeah, typically I always found for me 18 months was perfect. If I tried to do it from like within 12 months, I didn't really change that much. 18 months was like where I really could come back a new bodybuilder.
Yeah, yeah, more time. And again, because I have people who we both have people who inquire with us all the time who want they're like, hey, I want to do a show in 3 months or 4 months or whatever. If I thought it was in your best interest, I would say yes.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with like me wanting you. Like, granted, I want all my people around for as long as they want because the transformations that I produce where you're like, God damn, it's usually like that 18-month, 2 year mark. I'm not trying to slow roll you. I want you on stage as soon as you can to win shit so we both look cool and we're both successful. But sometimes it's just the harsh reality is like, hey, let's just take more time because I'm not going to enable you, put you in a prep where we're not prepared, and you get fourth fucking place. What's that worth?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. And that's where I had a new client join up and she was like, I want to compete by December. And I was like, man, like that's like one, there's just not enough like good shows in December, but like I just pitched it. I was like, hey, look, like I could get you, like we could do it. It's not gonna be fun. Like we'll do okay. Or I could like have you really good by like May. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want? And she's like, oh, I want to win. I was like, okay, bet. Like, so we're good with May. She's like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's do that. So, but I think just in those situations, as long as the coach is real with the athlete, like, because I wasn't saying no. I was saying, yeah, if you are dead set on by December, I'll do my job. But
Mm-hmm.
like to be the best you, we need more time. And that's where I think a lot of coaches go wrong. They just are so excited to have a new athlete. Like, yeah, we'll do it December for sure. They go get spanked, and then they're like, well, okay, you need a little longer. Let's do May, and then they're still not ready for May, and then they lose, and they're like, okay, well, let's do this, big show next year, and it's like, and it never ends, and then they've ruined like all their love for the sport, and they just never come back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think too, it's people just think putting bodies on stage. We see it with a lot of younger coaches that if they just put enough bodies on stage, maybe it'll pan out. And I'm like, how about let's put quality over quantity
Yeah,
and see how that goes. That might pay off.
absolutely,
Yeah. Well, what do we
absolutely.
know? You know? Alex, you got anything else?
Man. No, sorry if we popped off. I thought we popped off on this episode.
I
This
think it
was
was
a
one.
this was a
I think
pop off king episode.
this is
But yeah,
funny.
it's midweek. We're thriving. We had a nice little got to do a presentation this morning on for J3. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not nerve wracking at all. But just
Yeah.
um, I was waiting for like more questions, but like no one really asked. I guess I did a good job, or it really sucked.
No, dude, it was presented really well. Like I don't like I don't but granted, like I also was watching this happen live, not like in person, but like I'd
Yeah,
already seen this peak happen. So I was like, I don't have anything to ask because I know how you peak. Like I've
yeah,
seen it like
yeah.
50 times. But everybody else was just like was like, come on, someone say something,
Yeah,
you
I was
know?
like, well, doo all right. But yeah, things are good. Be on the lookout. J3 After Hours podcast, this podcast. Well, who knows? We may just adopt another podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, some sponsorship discount codes coming. The boys are up. Corporate life is going great. Um, yeah, that's all I got, dude.
Yeah. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. If you can leave us a 5-star review, share with a friend, comment, like all that good stuff. We'd really appreciate it because we want to be able to monetize so we can get Alex's fan out of the fucking frame. So until next time, thank you for listening to the Coaches Union.
Shout out to Austin Colvin, by the way.
Yeah. The